Have you ever wondered why certain moments seem to sink deeper into your heart than they do for others? Maybe there's a comment that lingers for days, or you catch yourself reading the energy of a room the minute you walk in, even if no one says a word. Or perhaps you savor ordinary joys with a kind of reverence: morning sunlight, a mug of warm coffee, the hush before a favorite song begins. What if, hidden inside these habits and feelings, are silent gifts? What if your invisible scars have been shaping you quietly all along? Today, we'll explore 7 silent gifts left behind by invisible scars. Some you'll recognize right away, others might surprise you, or feel like home in ways you can't explain. And stay with me, because the 7th gift is a quiet form of heroism you might not even realize you possess. This isn't another story about pain, it's about turning wounds into wisdom, and honoring the hard-won strengths that live within every survivor of emotional storms. Not all scars can be seen, and not all gifts come with applause. Some of the deepest strengths you carry were born in moments when life felt uncertain, or you felt unseen. At Inner Compass, we aren't here to teach, we're here to walk beside you, to help make your inner journey feel less lonely, more illuminated. Everything you'll hear today is an invitation, a mirror for reflection, curiosity, and self-kindness. As we travel through these 7 gifts, notice which resonate most, which ones show up in your everyday life, and which roots of resilience might you be overlooking in your own story. And can you allow yourself to own these strengths, not as flaws, but as signposts on your path of becoming? 1. Emotional radar, tuning into invisible currents. Have you ever walked into a busy space and instantly sensed the unspoken? The way a conversation changes when someone enters, or the subtle tension no one's mentioning. You feel it, like a current humming under the floorboards. This isn't paranoia or being too sensitive. It's an emotional radar, honed in times when predicting the mood was a matter of safety. Growing up, whether at home, at school, or elsewhere, you learn to notice the smallest signals. A sigh, a glance, a whisper of annoyance. Over time, this sensitivity became automatic, almost like breathing. And while it can be exhausting at times, it's also a superpower in connection and in intuition. You spot patterns others miss, and you are often the first person to comfort someone who hasn't even voiced their pain. Do you notice yourself unconsciously adjusting your presence to soothe tension or to bring peace where there is unrest? 2. The survivor's eye, finding miracles in the mundane. Let's talk about beauty, the kind that sneaks up on you. Maybe you've noticed how fresh sheets can feel like an embrace, or how a birding song in the quiet of dawn can bring a tear to your eye. When you have survived loss, chaos, or the ache of loneliness, these small things become enormous. I remember a time when everything felt unsteady, and just sitting quietly with a cup of tea made the world feel possible again. For people with invisible scars, gratitude isn't a checklist, it's a necessity. You learn to recognize moments of gentle safety and to relish the simple kindness of being alive, even when the world feels fragile. Have you found yourself clinging to little moments, making them your anchor on difficult days? That's not weakness, it's ancient wisdom, the survivor's way of turning the ordinary into something precious. 3. Quiet resilience. The still point in the storm. Others might marvel at your calm when chaos erupts, but they don't see the storms you've already survived. There's a difference between indifference and quiet resilience, the kind that shows up when life gets loud. Maybe you notice yourself breathing slower, focusing on tiny tasks, or even making gentle jokes while everyone else is overwhelmed. This still point in the storm isn't learned from books. It's a trait etched into you through trial and necessity. Sometimes you process hardship alone, later in the privacy of your thoughts. Sometimes you become the anchor in someone else's tempest. Either way, you refuse to be swept away, no matter how rough the waters get. How many times have you stood up after being knocked down, steadier for the fall? Can you give yourself credit for that resilience even if no one else witnessed it? 4. Heart-wide empathy. Seeing past the surface. Empathy for you is not just listening, it's seeing. You pick up on the invisible burdens others carry. You feel the tremble in a voice, a too quick laugh, a mask that hides sorrow. Maybe you attract confidences, witnessing the stories people hide from the world. There's a kind of humility here, an understanding that everyone is carrying something complicated. I recall meeting someone who claimed to be fine, but I could sense the exhaustion curling around their words. Survivors often become the keepers of secrets, simply because they know how it feels to go unseen or misunderstood. Your empathy isn't a flaw. It's a torch that passes warmth through dark halls, illuminating the hidden stories in those around you. Does your ability to truly see others sometimes startle even you? 5. The alchemist's touch, creating beauty from broken things. Some gifts are born at the edge of crisis. When the old ways break down or what's familiar disappears, you discover creative ways to rebuild. The alchemist's touch. Maybe you've stitched new meaning from loss, found laughter in sorrow, or turned leftover moments into unexpected joy. This ability to improvise isn't just clever, it's sacred. I once watched a friend, after a heartbreak, repaint an entire room in bright colors, simply to reclaim her space. Or consider someone who finds purpose in volunteering after hardship, turning pain outward as healing for others. Every time you find a way where none seems possible, you're honoring this gift. Have you surprised yourself with the ability to create light, even if it's just a spark, from the ashes left behind? 6. The inner compass, trusting gut wisdom. Let us talk about intuition, the gut feeling that whispers not this or go here before your mind can make sense of it. Many who have survived uncertainty or betrayal develop a powerful inner compass. You can feel vibrations, not just of rooms, but of people, choices, even your own body's needs. There is a wisdom here that doesn't always make sense to those who haven't been forced to listen. But for you, it's lifeblood. You read situations long before there are red flags, and even if you sometimes question yourself, you've learned that listening to your body is often the difference between peace and regret. Can you recall a time when your internal warning system protected you, even when others didn't understand your choices? If this journey rings true for you, know you're in good company. We are, all of us, fellow travelers, each using our silent strengths to light the path, not just for ourselves, but for each other. If you'd like to keep traveling with us, sharing wisdom, finding refuge, consider subscribing and joining our community. By turning on notifications, you become part of our circle, ensuring we continue walking together. 7. Quiet tenacity, the silent art of rising again. There's a kind of heroism that never makes headlines, the courage to get up each day and try again, regardless of setbacks, disappointments, or the shadow of past griefs. This is your quiet tenacity, not stubbornness, but hope that refuses to be extinguished. I think about all the silent restarts, after a breakup, a lost job, a friendship faded. Each time you meet the day with a tiny act of faith, making breakfast, applying for something new, reaching out once more. From the outside, it may look mundane. Inside, you know it is an act of will, a refusal to let the story end on a hard chapter. No one may ever thank you for this persistence, but honor it anyway. In surviving, you become living proof that new chapters are possible, no matter how many pages you've already turned. As we come to the end of this map, I hope you can see, you are defined not just by what hurt you, but by everything you have nurtured in its wake. Your radar, your gratitude, resilience, empathy, creativity, intuition, and tenacity, these are the silent gifts that make your story rare and luminous. At Inner Compass, we trust that recognizing these strengths is the first step toward real healing, self-trust, and deep connection. Your journey is not only valid, it's heroic. And every time you share, you make it easier for someone else to recognize themselves too. Which of these gifts lives in you? Or is there another silent strength you've discovered along the way? Share your story in the comments. A single word from you could be the lantern someone else is searching for. And if you'd like to dive deeper, next time, we'll explore how to transform sensitivity into the greatest superpower for connection, both with yourself and with others. Stay with us. This path isn't meant to be walked alone, and with every step we shine brighter together.